Today's video is sponsored by World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a free-to-play online game accessible to anyone, whether you're a novice or a pro. Jump in and experience the same thrill as 100 million players worldwide and interact with a global community of gamers who share your passion. You can command over 550 tanks in more than 40 battle arenas. Download World of Tanks using the link in the description. World of Tanks is now collaborating with G.I. Joe. Available for purchase now, G.I. Joe Breakthrough Tank Style and Cobra Battle Operational Assault Tank Style are designed to make two corresponding tanks look like toys from the G.I. Joe's classic lineup. Anyone who uses the invite code and completes the G.I. Joe missions will receive free G.I. Joe and Cobra emblems to customize their tanks. During the registration, use invite code G.I. Joe 21 and activate in-game missions to receive free G.I. Joe emblems to decorate your tanks. The code also gets you a T14 tank, which is a Tier 5 perk, 500,000 credits, and 7 days of a premium account. Alright, today we're taking a look at the Kickstarter Spawn Classic figure. Now there was 3 different versions of this, but I went with the Classic. There was a modern and artist-proof version, but this was the famous Kickstarter Spawn action figure, raising over almost $3.5 million with like 23,000 backers. Fantastic show of support for this action figure. It came amazingly, meticulously packaged, so it came in a box, within a box, and then inside the box there was tissue paper, there was corner protectors on both the top and the bottom. I mean, this thing was well taken care of for shipping. And then as you can see here, we've got a slip cover, we've got the Spawn logo all the way down the side. Over here we've got 1994 through 2021, of course the time that McFarlane Toys has been around, and then we've got this beautiful metallic looking Spawn logo along the side. I went with the classic one just because I am a fan of the original design of Spawn himself. Being a child of the 90s, I grew up reading the Spawn comic book, and I still read it to this day. So I was anxious to back this. I think it was like $40 for the classic figure. I sprung for the autographed version as well, just because I've met Todd McFarlane several times and I've never bothered to ask him for his autograph. So I figured, why not, show my support. So we got this nice little box. Ooh, got loose pieces opening up here. All right, inside we have the Masterworks Certificate of Authenticity. Nothing says the 90s like a Certificate of Authenticity. And then inside we have a little Masterworks checklist. So the original 1994 release of the first Spawn action figure, it was 5.5 inches. And this tells you the points of articulation it had compared to this new remastered 2021 version, which it has all sorts of bells and whistles. And then lo and behold, as we can see here, we've got the figure in a massive overpacked bubble. Get this out. Looks like this is the autographed plaque. Yeah. So a nice little nameplate here, autographed by the man himself, Todd McFarlane, and red marker. Greatly appreciate that. Nice little accessory. And we also, speaking of accessories, we got some accessories for the figure itself. So we got some little plasma beams, put it in his fist right there. What else we got? So the foam on this is amazing. So got a plasma, whoop, lost it. Plasma dagger. Then we've got this beast of a spiked hooked club. Nice paint work on here. Metallic finish on the hook. Dingy, dirty nails. Tape job on the handle. Got a Spawn unmasked head with his demonic shouting expression, the green eyes. Nice paint job here. Got hints of flesh coming through there. Very scary looking, very demonic, but that's Spawn. And let's go ahead and pull everything else out. So this was a little holder for the plaque. This foam. Oh, take it all off. There we go. Foam out of here. Come out of the box. And more foam. So like I said, well protected, but here it is. Oh, and I almost forgot, found this inside the foam. So of course Spawn needs his ginormous oversized sword. This thing is quite hefty, quite large. I mean, it's almost the same size as Spawn himself, but it's It's a great looking accessory. You got the green here in the hilt, around the handle as well, skull, nice little details along here. Very, very pointy. It is the figure in a massive blister pack. Spawn posable action figure, record-breaking comic. The longest and most successful Image comic / independent comic ever made. And speaking of comics, it actually does come with a reprint of Spawn #1, which is fantastic. And this is made to open and close, so you can put everything back inside the blister pack and hold it and display it like that if you wish. But I'm an out-of-the-box collector, so let's get him out of the box. All right, now that he's out of his plastic prison, we've got a couple more added accessories to take a look at. First, he does come with this figure stand, although he doesn't really need one, so to speak, just because his cape and his feet and balance and everything is very nice. But you know, you got this little display stand, single peg hole, commemorating the record-setting action figure, as well as the McFarlane toy line, again 1994 through 2021. And of course, we have this awesome friggin' machine gun. We got a saw in here, we got a grenade launcher, assault rifle. I mean, just tacked out. Got all sorts of great accessories. Got some nice little dingy silver paint to it, so it's definitely, you know, been around the block, so to speak, and seen some battles. So awesome assault rifle, machine gun. Then we got some interchangeable hands, so there's 6 hands in total, including the 2 that are on him right now. So got a completely closed fist, got an open / closed fist. This one's got the fingers open enough to where you can slide things in and out. Got another closed fist and another semi-closed hand as well, rounding it out. Also included a reprint of Spawn #1 comic book, so this comes in a little top loader. You can display it like this, put it on your wall, take it out and read, put it back in, however you wish. I already have a perfect graded copy of, well, close to perfect, let's say, 9.8 graded CGC Spawn from my childhood days. I love this, and that's part of the reason why I got the signed McFarlane version, because, you know, I'll just get this little plaque, put it by my comic display, and then I'll set this guy up there. But looking at this figure, he is very impressive, very, very well done. I mean, I've seen some people talking negatively about this figure. I don't know what they were really expecting, because they've been very open and honest and, you know, transparent about what we were getting from the get-go. So he has all the looks and the stylization of the comic early on, as well as the animated series. I mean, you look at this cape and it's just so over the top. You got like the bunny ear cowl, so to speak. I mean, this thing is just absolutely gorgeous. The cape itself is on hinges on these sides there, so you can, you know, fold it back. You can kind of enclose him there, and it does stick down to where it actually touches the ground there, so it actually helps pose and balance. The wash on this thing is great. It's been hit with not just a red paint, but, you know, these sprays of black, so it's got that weathered look to it. Nice texture to it. Definitely looks leather, but it's not. It's just all plastic. But it's excellent job with the paint application and the texturing on this massive, massive cape. Again, I can't say enough good things about how awesome the stylization, the jagged lines, the hard edges, and everything of this cape itself are. Figure looks great. We actually have metallic chains around his belt and the cape. Got some silver hits there on these spikes on his knees and his knuckles. Again, with the dingy paint application here with some, you know, hits of black in there, so it's got some nice shading and depth to it. One thing to note though is you'll notice that it's not exactly straight line as far as his midsection. He's kind of comes pre-posed. It doesn't really matter how you twist him. His midsection's always going to look a little bit off, just because it's not perfectly painted in line with his anatomical abs and the structure and things like that. The face is great, excellent detail work there. You can even see a little bit of the teeth and the skeletal structure behind the mask, green eyes and everything. Lots of articulation with this figure. Some of it is marred with his over-the-top accessories and the cape and things like that, but again, I knew that going into it. And to me personally, I think he's got more than enough articulation. So his head does move up and down independent of the neck, so the neck also moves around. So you can spin his head 360 degrees. You could get him to look all the way down, get him to look all the way up until his head hits the cowl. And you'll notice there's a little bit of a, let me zoom in there, little bit of a space in there between his neck. If you don't want that, you'll have to kind of like hold down as you're manipulating his head. That way you don't get that gap. So lots of range of motion for the head, just because we got a neck and head joint. The arms are going to go up and out, but they're going to be hitting that shoulder cape area. You're not going to be able to spin it 360, even though it does have that mobility and functionality in there. It's just always going to hit the shoulder of the cape. He does have a bicep swivel, and we have a single jointed elbow, which also swivels around. And we have a 360 degree swivel of the hands and a horizontal hinge. One thing I was slightly disappointed to see was, since we do have this awesome sword coming, all the interchangeable hand accessories all have a horizontal hinge, which shouldn't really be an issue, except for the fact that you have this awesome sword thing. People, when they swing swords, their hand goes up and down vertically. They don't swing a sword like this. So to have every single one of his interchangeable hands that only do this motion as opposed to this motion is a little bit disappointing, but that is actually pretty standard for most action figures these days. It just would have been a nice, I think it's probably just an oversight, honestly. I think no one was really thinking about that, because most things are always standard horizontal hinges. He's got a torso twist, so you can spin it all the way around. Get a look, nice look at the back belt clasp there. And these chains are really nice. They've been, you know, washed with some stain or something that makes them look almost bronze, nice copper-esque color to them. You can get a little bit of an ab crunch. That cape is really going to weigh him down, but that's as far forward as he's going to get, and backwards is not going to be much just because of the cape. That's as far back as you're going to get him to go. Legs are going to go this far out, that far back, and complete splits, which is impressive considering this chain. This chain actually doesn't hinder any of the mobility or the posability. And we got double jointed knees that'll go all the way until these spikes start hitting the back of his thigh. And we have a boot cut, so 360 degree rotation here. We have ankle rocking, so it goes all the way down, all the way up, which is impressive. And we even have a toe pivot, so you can get all sorts of crazy posability and articulation there at the foot. And there are standard peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So again, overall articulation on this guy, absolutely phenomenal. The cape, again, closes and opens. It just looks fantastic. Let's be real. I mean, you look at this guy, he oozes 90s cool in every sense of the, you know, the phrase. It's a fantastic figure. It was a great price. I'm happy to have backed this Kickstarter project. Like I said, all the added accessories with the weapons and the hands and the plasma things and the packaging and, you know, the reissued Spawn #1 comic. I mean, all sorts of bells and whistles thrown in here. Fantastic. Anyways, that does it for this action figure review. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like button. Share this video with your friends if you found the information helpful. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. It really means a lot.